What is up, friends? Peter here, back with another video, and today we're going to be talking about what I felt after I turned 30. I made a previous video on why turning 30 for men is just the beginning, and I definitely believe in that. However, what I've come to realize after turning 30, the weird number, right? When you're turning 30, you're not old, but you're not young. But when you're younger, you think 30 is old, but when you get to 30, you don't really feel like you're that young. Oh, sorry, that old. Isn't that strange? So, turning 30, maybe it's just me. I don't know if everyone feels like this, but for me personally, I feel like at 30, I am the strongest mentally, physically I've ever been. And it's not a cope. Some people haters out there will say cope. Oh, you're just saying that because you're turning 30. You want to say something to make yourself feel better. Look at this, man. I feel fucking strong. I would be physically, mentally strong because of all the experiences I went through in my 20s, training, dieting, life, work, everything. Because when you're 20, you don't really have that much life experience, right? You're still a baby. But it's when you get to 30, that's really when you can actually start on your own feet, when you actually buy your own. You're a grown young man by now, right now. You gotta be self-sufficient, you gotta be more confident, you gotta know exactly what you want to do, you gotta be more decisive, you gotta be on point. There's no room for error. Everyone thinks of 30 as in a different way. Some people think it's the end of the world. I know some people that think turning 30 is absolutely the end of the world. They are old, they are frail. Time is over. Mate, if you feel that old at 30, what are you going to feel when you turn 40, 50? Your life's definitely going to be over, because if you have that mindset in your mid-20s, in your early 30s, you're giving up on life. This is not a cope. It's just a mindset. You need this mindset. And people are going to think, oh, you're just trying to copy every other influencer, Andrew Tate. But what he says is right. A male, when you're approaching your 30s, you're entering your prime. Depending on what you're doing with your life, you got to stay on point. Because in your 30s, that's when you're actually building something strong. If you haven't fucked around in your 20s, and I'm not perfect, I didn't get into any legal trouble, any street problems as a kid. But there's a lot of areas for improvement that I need. And after turning 30, if you're still having problems, having fake friends or not knowing who your friends are, you really got a big issue in your life right now. Because there's another point. Friends, the people you surround yourself with, are one of the most important things in your life. It's undervalued, and people talk about it, but it's not really spoken about in any seriousness. The people you spend around, the people you spend your time with, hugely impacts who you are, how you think, how you move, how you talk, what you eat, how you see the world. And at this age, if you're still running around with a circle of friends that just want to party, only hit you up or only message you when they want to have some fun, you really got a big issue, a big problem. Get rid of those people. Get rid of them. And when you get in your 30s, you realize sometimes you might know people for most of your life, and you realize it's not your friend. And it might even take you a long time to even realize that. But once you realize the fact that you two are not meant to be together, just like a relationship, they don't fit in your future, they don't even fit in your present, get rid of them. It doesn't matter if you knew them since birth, since childhood. If they don't treat you as a friend, they're not your friend. And I'm not even going to go into the friendship thing, because pretty simple. If someone doesn't treat you as a friend, they're not your friend. There is no loyalty with time. Just because you knew them when you were a child, it doesn't mean they owe you anything, or you owe them anything. So be willing to cut people off without even trace, without even saying anything. Because at this age, there's no time to mess around. And if you don't have anybody, if you don't have a circle of friends that are your running mates, that you can depend on, that you can rely on, work on yourself until you become that person, and you will eventually attract those people. And there's nothing wrong with spending time alone. I know in 40 Laws of Power, Robert Greene, And one of the chapters, it's not good to self-isolate yourself, but in periods of time, in some seasons of your life, you need to isolate yourself to build yourself, to get stronger, to get better, to get fitter, to get faster, whatever it is. That's what's needed. And if you don't have a circle of friends right now, if you're lonely, you don't have any friends, don't worry about it. It's a good thing. You work on yourself, get stronger, read, train, work on your work, career, business, wherever it is. And eventually, you're not even going to think about it anymore. Because if you can't sit alone with yourself, if you're not comfortable in your own skin, you're not going to be good to anyone. And I'd rather be comfortable in my own skin, lonely, than be surrounded by a group of people that don't value, don't appreciate you. You're just going to feel lost in the wind. So with that, guys, that's the end of my rant for today. I'll see you in the next video.